Good morning. It's such a beautiful day today. It's a beautiful Mother's Day. It's a beautiful spring day. And I'm so glad that you've joined us. My name is Mary Klein, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living at St. George. I invite you at this moment to simply take this moment to move within. And if it's right for you, to please close your eyes and then begin with a slow, deep breath and a deep, powerful breath in and out. And we'll begin the meditation now. Many spiritual leaders over the centuries taught that the kingdom of God is at hand and that divine love can protect us and that divine guidance can lead us here and now. Jesus taught that what we really are will live forever. And he taught that the complete emancipation of man from the limitations of flesh is our birthright. Real immortality means that you and I shall not only live continuously after this life, that we shall be the same individuals we are now. Our emotions, our feelings, retaining everything that we are today. What makes us us? Everything that makes for the warmth and the color of our human personality. That means we shall carry our entire consciousness with us. The ability to know and to be known, to see and be seen, to commune with each other. So let us go deeper and know all souls are safe. This is a spiritual truth. This guided meditation will assist you in opening yourself up to the allowance of self-love, self-acceptance, and knowing that you are eternal, not having a gender or requirement of yourself, but opening your soul and bringing love back to you and knowing your own immortality. I ask you to imagine in your mind an open state of consciousness, quieting your mind. Now allow open space above you, below you, and on either side of you. And I want you to imagine that the space is allowance. What does allowing look like to you? It may be a soft color, a soothing temperature, a very gentle movement of love, acceptance, and possibility. Please soften your thoughts and accept this feeling of suspension in the energy of allowance, soothing your physical body from resistance, bringing a warm and rejuvenation to the space around you. I want you to pretend nothing comes to an end. There is no end or edge to the space in which I have just described to you. It goes on forever. Take away your thoughts, any edge or parameter where energy would stop flowing, and take your mind to the extension of this ongoing energy. Let any limitation and boundaries fade. Just let it fade, knowing that it continues and that it continues in all different ways. It doesn't stay the same color, it doesn't stay the same temperature, and it doesn't stay the same movement. What are you envisioning is yourself? Yes, yourself. What if you are this energy? Know that you reside in an aura of consciousness and acceptance. Your energy continues on beyond what you can see, beyond what you can perceive. Hold this thought, and I will ask you this question. What if you could go on forever? What if your energy had no limitation? What if the pure state of your existence had very little to do with physical experience on this earth, and all to do with connectivity to all other energy? You are vibrant, you are buoyant, you are bright and vivid, you are sharp, you are witty, you are intelligent, and you are all creative energy that is God. With your imagination, what does God look like to you? Is it a solvent entity perched upon a mountain that controls and dictates the ongoingness of each soul's existence? Can your mind go beyond that aspect, off of this realm? If you had never been taught an image of this solvent God, what do you think it would look like to you? Consciousness? Space? Movement? What does love look like? What if you existed in the unfoldment of love consciousness with no punishment, no agenda, no requirement, just an undulating energy and launching of possibility? Hold your mind there, just for the fun of it. Play pretend with me. Play imagination with me. Surrounding yourself with these thoughts will smooth any physical body ailments and will quiet your mind from the busyness of trying to figure out the right way. What if it is all the right way? What if you have been right and I've been right and all are right on their journey? What if that's the case? Would that bring you comfort? Would it ease the weight on your shoulders? Think now of possibilities only, not restrictions or limitations. Remove out of your consciousness any thoughts that you have ever been wrong. The only thing you have ever done wrong is to believe that you ever were wrong. Open yourself up, open your soul, open your heart space, and just allow unconditional love that allows grace, compassion, and boldness. I come from a consciousness of knowing that this is true, that the all is possible. Walk in expansiveness, open your mind. All is right, all is safe, all souls are safe, and you and every one of your beloved ones go on forever. So let's sit in silence for just a couple minutes, sensing your immortality. So now let's bring ourselves back and slowly open our eyes. Walk peacefully and with love today, knowing your own divinity and immortality. Namaste.
Good morning, everyone. We are delighted to have you this morning joining us today. My name is Chris McCardle. I'm a practitioner here at Centers for Spiritual Living. We are an open and loving and inclusive community. We welcome all dreams, all paths. They're all totally welcome here. So this morning, our lineup for you today is we have behind the scenes Star Starrett. She was actually having a little bit of technical problems this morning, so we're sorting that all out. I will be your host. The meditation was given by Mary, and Cheryl will be doing our music. Sue will be doing our reading, and our guest host or our guest speaker this morning is Reverend Elisha Christopher. So let me go ahead and let's bring Cheryl in. Hi, Cheryl. Good morning.
Good morning.
We got it going. We got it going.
We're gonna do it. It's
We're
gonna be
gonna do it
beautiful.
today.
For
Okay, sweetie.
sure. Okay, so just take those breaths. Take those breaths of life and know that you are right here, right now. Feel the seat beneath you. Feel the air around you. And let's just remember who we are and what we believe. Devoted one, take my heart, let your grace be mine. All is healed that I may yield to beat as love divine. Sacred one, take my sight, let your eyes be mine. Grant the truth of heaven's view to see as love divine. Abiding one, take my thoughts, let your will be mine. As I perceive all I believe, to know is love divine. Holy one, take my dream, let your cause be mine. To all I meet, the hands and feet, to serve as love divine. Now Mary Klein is going to join us and bring us in with our invocation. Thanks, Mary.
Good morning again. I acknowledge that there is one constant presence as I turn within and tap into this indwelling present. If you're comfortable, close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in, and know one force encompassing everything that is in existence. One energy at which all things are made. I recognize this as truth. There is nothing that exists outside this one presence. As I breathe in, the grace of God permeates all of my cells, feeds me to the core of my being. There is no place that God is not. It moves itself through me and throughout all creation. Having recognized the magnificence and the awesome power of the one presence that is absolutely everywhere within the universe, I realize that this same intelligence that created everything doesn't stop being where I am, therefore it is within me. I am one with this presence. I am a divine being made of God energy, having a human experience. As I know this is true for me, I know it is true for everyone here. All the honorable mothers and devoted sons and daughters on this beautiful spring morning. There is nothing outside this one. I consciously align myself with this indwelling presence each moment as I continually cherish that which is within me. There's no better means of developing my inner life than by continually beginning again each day, each minute, and each moment. This is what staying present moment means to me. And so as we embark on today's journey on this beautiful and amazing morning to celebrate Mother's Day, a symbol of our divinity and our immortality, with the Mother's Day message, opening your loving heart and listen with new awareness. So I bless and thank all those who are participating today. All those who give up their time to create this broadcast each week, to all our teachers and students who demonstrate a strong quest for knowledge of our principles and philosophy. And so it is.
So it is. So it is. Amen. So let's just continue that alignment. Blessed One, take my life. Let your light be mine. Give me desire, eternal fire, to burn as love divine. May I live as love divine. And now Sue Fulmer is going to join us and present our sacred reading today. Welcome, Sue.
Thank you. I feel so honored today to have my calling be a mother in this lifetime. And I honor and love all of you that carry that nurturing, loving spirit. We honor all of you today. Please join with me in sacred prayer and communing to know that the perfect right minister is coming to us. And repeat with me our sacred covenant. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with this life, I know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which include the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to express God, I therefore know that my new minister reveals wholeness. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which we believe, for it is written, "Let us learn to draw the divine substance down into our own lives, and as freely as it has been given to us, let us give it to others. Thus alone shall we be made whole." Ernest Holmes. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister revealed before me as growing the center in joy and prosperity. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing the truth about myself. For I live the presence and law of God. I demonstrate wisdom through a mature understanding of the wholeness of life. I am accountable and willing to take full responsibility for my actions. I participate in and support the nurturance and guidance of the community. I act from wholeness and congruence in thought, word, and action. I walk the talk. Now embrace your own spiritual truth for your minister here. I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, knowing that they are revealed in a way that expresses God and serves the highest and greatest good for all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful, and so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Thank you, Sue. So this month's theme is Holy, Holy Uprising, and today's talk is Revolutionary Love. And as a couple people have mentioned, it is Mother's Day, and that is certainly one of the most revolutionary loves in my life. Mitch Albom has said, "When you look into your mother's eyes, you know that is the purest love you can find on this earth." In today's Science of Mind magazine, Reverend Christian Sorensen reminds us the maternal nurturing energy of the feminine is not bound by birth or gender. Let your love and appreciation go forth from you to all those amazing expressions of God's love, those spiritual mothers who helped birth your soul's journey with their grace. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. James Baldwin, the American novelist, poet, and activist, he also talked about love, and he said, "Love takes off masks that we fear we cannot live without, and know we cannot live within." That really jumped out at me, that when we are loved, that we can express authentically. And Ernest Holmes, in The Science of Mind, he wrote this: "Love must go forth to meet love. All people are rooted in God, and it is only as we go down to the roots of our being that we unify with others in spirit and in truth. Everything that follows is the play of life upon itself." Everything that follows. We have blessings and we have love, and we are experiencing life in all that we do. This is a beautiful song by Lucinda Williams that reminds us that. We were blessed by the minister who practiced what he preached. We were blessed by the poor man who said heaven is within reach. We were blessed by the girl selling roses who showed us how to live. We were blessed by the neglected child who knew how to forgive. We were blessed by the battered woman who didn't seek revenge. We were blessed by the warrior who didn't need to win. We were blessed by the blind man who could see for miles and miles. We were blessed by the fighter who didn't fight for the prize. We were blessed. Yeah, we were blessed. We were blessed by the mother who gave up the child. We were blessed by the soldier who gave up his life. We were blessed by the teacher who didn't have a degree. We were blessed by the prisoner who knew how to be free. We were blessed by the mystic who turned water into wine. We were blessed by the watchmaker who gave up his time. We were blessed by the wounded man who felt no pain, by the wayfaring stranger who knew our names. We were blessed. Yeah, we were blessed. We were blessed by the homeless man who showed us the way home. Blessed by the hungry man who filled us with love. By the little innocent baby who taught us the truth. We were blessed by the forlorn, forsaken, and abused. We were blessed. Yeah, we were blessed. We were blessed. Yeah, we were blessed. We were blessed. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you, Cheryl. Have you done that song before?
I did it a couple years ago, yeah.
I liked it a lot. Thank you very much.
So glad. Thank you.
Very cool. Well, everybody, this week's speaker, it's the second Sunday of the month, is Reverend Elijah Christopher, who always delivers something exciting, deep, and thought-provoking. So it is my privilege to welcome Reverend Elijah Christopher. Hi there.
Hi, Chris. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Take it away, Elijah.
All right, here we go. Well, good morning, my friends. First, before we take a few breaths together, I just want to start by saying Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and to anyone who's ever taken on the role of mother, or that expressing that nurturing love that lives within all of us. So happy Mother's Day. Let's begin with our 3 breaths together. So if you will, exhale first and take a deep breath in. And let go. Take another deep breath in. And let go. Together, we want to take one more deep breath. And let go. And so again, good morning. As you know, the theme for the month across Center for Spiritual Living and overarching conversation we're having throughout the month of May is Holy, Holy Uprising. And this morning, our topic is about revolutionary love. And I want to start by saying thanks to Cheryl for that song, because that song, Blessed, that Cheryl just sang for us, I feel so perfectly encapsulates this idea of what it means to live from a place of revolutionary love, as if our life is a holy, holy uprising. Realizing that we come into this world, we come into this human experience for the experience of life, for the whole breadth of everything that happens to us, that moves through us, that is created by us, from the moment we're born until the moment we die. And we come here for the full spectrum of life experience. The last couple weeks, there has been so much moving in my own life. I am currently moving through the grief of the death, really relatively tragic death of a young person in my life. And I'm also spending this weekend, all day yesterday, and I will be the rest of the day today, spending some time with a dear friend who is in the process of beginning to make his transition. And as I have been stretched by this experience of love, this experience of grief, this experience of life, of seeing a young person's life ended tragically with seemingly no reason. And then on the other end, seeing someone who has lived a beautiful and full life, making their transition out of this life, being surrounded by people who love them, singing and creating beautiful space. I've just been in such a deep contemplation of what a variety of experience we come into this life for, and how specific that variety is tuned to each one of us to give us back the depth of that love that we are seeking. And I've been contemplating this idea that, the Buddhists would tell us that life is suffering, and that through our practice, through our choice, through our attention, through the ways that we do and be and choose and live through this life, we can navigate that suffering and perhaps liberate from ourselves from it. And almost every spiritual teaching across the planet will tell us that God is love. And I was thinking about this sort of balance of these two ideas, that God is love and life is suffering. And as I've been contemplating this idea of Holy, Holy Uprising this month, the words of Neale Donald Walsch keep rolling around in my head. And he says to us that anytime we choose to be something, everything unlike it shows up. And I thought, interesting. If every time we choose to be something, everything unlike it shows up, that's part of this equation, part of the nature of life. And if God is love and life is suffering, what is life but God in action? What is life but that love in form? And so if God is love and each one of us comes from God, then we come into this life to say, I am love. I'm going to come into the world and be a new way that love happens. Be a new way that love shows up. I want to learn how to love bigger. What if each one of us, as God itself, comes into life with one intention? I want to learn how to love bigger. I want to learn how to love more. I want to learn how to love in the face of anything. And so when we choose to say, I'm going to be love, then we're given this experience of life, which is the opportunity for everything unlike love to rise up around us. That which the Buddhists would call suffering. But what if that rises up in front of us is the universe's offering, the universe's opportunity, saying, okay, if you want to be love, if you want to live in a bigger way and expand the nature of life, then you must meet the world. You must meet the challenges. You must meet all that rises up in front of you as a challenge to say, will you learn how to be more love in the face of this? Will you learn how to be deeper in your truth in the face of all that's rising up? And so I take this idea and then I look out at the world. And every day I look at the news, I look at what's happening around us. And more, it just seems like the world is in this radical state of chaos. I was speaking to someone the other day about the rocket satellite that dropped into the ocean off the coast of India the other day, the global pandemic, all of the racial and political unrest that's in our world, all that's rising up to be addressed, our changing climate, our changing economics, all is in shift, all is in flux. And then here we are at Center for Spiritual Living, a group of people who say that we are here to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are here to bring about a world that works for all. And if that's what we are claiming, then let us look out into the world and see that the universe is rising up to meet us. If we say that we are here to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and we know whenever we claim to be something, everything unlike it's going to show up, and that God is love, but life is suffering. When I say I choose to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, that is also me saying to the universe that I am ready and willing to meet life head on and be the place where that spiritual magnificence emerges, to be the place in the face of conflict, in the face of pain, in the face of death, in the face of sickness. Can you be a place where spiritual magnificence, where love, where truth, where wholeness is being revealed into this situation, whatever it is? And in that revealing is the alleviation of suffering. In that revealing is the revelation of love. And so I think it's incredibly appropriate for us in the world that we live in and in these ever-changing times and in all that is raining down and rising up around us to really contemplate what it means to be a people who live from a place of revolutionary love. To be a people who are willing to recognize that we believe that there is one presence that lives and breathes in everyone and everything, and that we are completely united, that we live in a unified field of consciousness, that every single thing that each one of us does has an effect and is connected to the other. What if we began to cultivate a revolutionary love that allowed us to look into the eyes of the opposite political party, to look into the eyes of the racially oppressed, to look into the eyes of the oppressor, to look into the eyes of ever-changing political change, to look at the climate that is shifting in the world and look at it from a different perspective? What if we become a people who choose to look at all that is moving in the world as the holy, holy uprising that we are being called to meet, that we are being called to express a new choice, a new way of being, a new way of interacting with all that is unfolding. If we think about the world as that which is responding to the call that is coming from each one of us, and each one of us is a response that the universe and that life has made, and that each one of us is responding to a call. I've often been saying that each one of us is a living prayer, that our life is a center of creation, and that the consciousness that we carry, the love that moves within us, is the gift that we have to give to the world. And the question that I want to put into our mind this morning is this: what if each one of us was not a living prayer, but each one of us was the answer to a prayer? What if what it means to live from a place of revolutionary love is to live as if you are the answer to a prayer that life has uttered, that God has uttered, that the earth has uttered, that humanity has called forward? Because if we look at all that is rising up in the world around us, humanity, the earth, all of life is begging for something to change. If we've gotten anything out of the chaos that is rising up in the world around us, it should be that something has got to give, that something has got to change, that if we ever want to see a world that works, that we must rise into a new level of being, of doing, a new level of thinking, a new level of operating. And so if we look out into the world and we see that all that is rising up to meet us, to meet the intention, the call that each one of us came here for, then look out into the world. Look at all the chaos. Look at all that is unfolding and ask yourself, what is the prayer that I am the answer to? What is the call that I said yes to? And then begin to find the way to show up in a new way. I spent much of my day yesterday creating beautiful space with music, with candles and flowers, with friends, with words, around a beloved in the process of making their transition. And someone came over to the house and saw all that was ensuing in that space and said, this is what revolutionary love looks like. This willingness to meet death as something beautiful, as something to be celebrated, as something to be lifted up to the highest level. And I had this moment yesterday where I was just watching all that was unfolding, watching this process, and realizing, thinking how similar birth and death are. And what would it be like, instead of thinking that we are preparing for someone to leave this life, that what we're actually doing is helping them prepare to be born into the next? That what if this is a celebration of a birth into a new life, into a next life, into a next experience? That revolutionary shift changes the entire context that everyone in that experience feels. And by the end of the day yesterday, almost everyone commented on how this was one of the most beautiful days that they've experienced in a long time. And it's because there's something that we could be contextualizing as wrong happening, as death, as this thing that is bad. But instead we embrace it as something beautiful. We embrace that there is something here for each one of us, and that there is a way for each one of us to offer ourselves to be in service, not only to this one who we love, but to each other and to life itself, by meeting a situation in a different way, by rising to the occasion and being the place where something spiritually magnificent happens. And in this idea of we come into this life to experience the full spectrum of all that is between birth and death, all of the pain, all of the joy, all of the love, all of the sorrow. That's what we come into life for. But the challenge, the revolutionary way of being that I'm bringing forth today is that it's about our choice. It's about what we do with it. It's about what we do with the darkness. It's about what we do with the pain. It's about what we do with the death and the discomfort. That speaks more about who we are and the truth that we are claiming to believe than what we do when things are easy, than what we do when all is working well. The test of our spirituality is who we are when it's hard, is how we show up in the midst of pain, darkness, death, and suffering. Because it's in those moments that our spiritual magnificence can truly shine. And it's in those moments that we can truly offer a new way of being to each other and to the world around us and begin to set an example of what a life lived, what a spiritually magnificent life lived can look like. And so, my friends, take a deep breath. And just think about the world that surrounds you. Your family, your community, circumstances happening in your own life. But also think about our nation and our world. And see the holy, holy uprising that is rising up around you. And notice that if all of this that is rising up to meet you, to challenge you, to ask you, what does your spiritual magnificence look like as a response in the face of all of this? What does it look like for you and for me and for all of us to rise to a whole new level of response, to a whole new level of being, where we reveal that there is something powerful and potent and beautiful rising up in every moment. And like that song that Cheryl sang at the beginning of this, before the talk, that song Blessed, realizing with each of those stanzas back and forth that in the moment of pain, in the moment of sickness, in the moment of lack, the choice that we make and what we bring forward from that can be potent and can be powerful if we choose from a place that grows us. And when we choose a higher path through our own pain, we set a powerful example for those around us of what a different way of being and doing can look like. And so if you will, just take another breath. And if it's comfortable, close your eyes. And just take a moment to remember with me that each one of us is being breathed by something greater than ourselves. That there is an infinite life that participates and permeates throughout all of existence. That everyone and everything is part of this one infinite and eternal, seamless life force. That we were part of it before we were born, and we will remain part of it after we die. That every moment of our lives, every joy, every pain, every beauty, and all the difficulty, that all of it is part of this beautiful experience, this dance, this balance that we call life. And we know that the universe is responsive. And so when we choose to be something, the universe rises up to meet us, to give us the opportunity to rise to a whole new level, should we choose to do so. And so let us remember that the power is in our choice. The power is in our attention. The power is in our intention. The power is where we look and what we look at and what we choose to look with. And so let each one of us remember that there is a divine power, a cosmic presence, an infinite love that is beating in our hearts, that is seeing through our eyes, that is hearing through our ears. And when we choose to be aware of it, it can speak through our mouth and it can do work through our lives. And so let each one of us today be a place where a spiritually magnificent response is born as the answer to a prayer that the world is crying out. And when we live into that, when each one of us becomes a living answer to the prayer of the cries of the world, we be the place where a world that works and everyone thrives can emerge, that we be a place where the magic happens. And so let us breathe together again and remember that our breath connects us not only to each other, but to all life, to everyone who has ever lived, and to the life and love of the universe itself. And so, my friends, let us just be in the surrender and in the ebb and in the flow of this process called life. And just let it be what it is, as it is, and rise to meet it in a new way every day. And so it is.
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Eli. That was so beautiful. I mean, it's like we ask ourselves, what is my purpose? What am I here for? If we just practice what you taught in every aspect of what we do, that's the answer. That's why we're here. That's why each of us exists, to bring love into every single situation. And I love you for saying that. And please bring my love there with you and everyone. Send my love. And I love you. And thank you.
Much love.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. It is time for announcements. So we are still, of course, looking for a minister. Found ? We will keep you posted. So stay tuned. We do have a selection committee that's working on it, and we're still looking. So if you know someone who is, just give us a holler. We are approaching our yearly time where we have our annual meeting. And this year is going to be on Sunday, May 23rd. I'm going to make this big. At between 2 and 4 p.m. at Cottonwood Cove Park, and that's off of Dixie Drive. And we invite you to join us in person, outdoors, to commune, to sing, to just be with us while we discuss some of our financial stuff and how we're moving forward soon. So join us for that. And let's see. And now we'd like to invite you to, we've got the QR code up there. So if you take your camera, point it at that little scan me, it'll bring you right to the place where you can actually donate to our center. So if you enjoyed what you hear and you are supportive of us, we do ask that you please give. You can still give by text by dialing that 435-850-6465 number. You can go to our CSLSG.org website, and there's PayPal links and such there. And if you are so inclined, feel free to give by mail. Send checks to the Center for Spiritual Living, St. George, P.O. Box 3132. And we would appreciate anything you have to offer. We are continuing the book club with Sue Fulmer, and it is The Untethered Soul. I believe it's pretty much getting close to the end of that. I wonder what will come next. It's a fantastic book. It's a profound book club study that they meet every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. They do it on Zoom, and you can contact Sue at suegfulmer@gmail.com if you'd like more information. And we have our every Sunday we have a Zoom meeting at noon after service, and the link is in the newsletter, the Friday reminder, and on our webpage. And you can just go straight to the CSLSG.org, and right on that main page will bring you a link to the Zoom meeting. So we also have a community care circle, and that's there for you. There's a team of people that work for or are part of Center for Spiritual Living Volunteer, and they provide compassionate support, and they offer calls, cards, and prayer. So if there is someone you know that is struggling, let us be of service. Also, our practitioners are always available to support you in prayer, to meet with you, to discuss what's going on, and you can email a request to prayer@cslstgeorge.org or call the 435-893-6702. Join us next Sunday. Again, we're bringing back Jafon Seeley. He's becoming a regular speaker. From all of your feedback, asking us to bring it back, we're happy to do that. So he'll be with us next Sunday on the 16th. And then another speaker that we had in the past that got overwhelming responses and requests to bring her back is Steph Swing. So join us for next Sunday and the following Sunday, and you'll get to see those speakers again. All right, it's time for the closing affirmation, and Star is going to bring everybody in. There's Mary, there's Eli, there's Cheryl, and Star, are you going to come in yourself? Okay, and Sue had to take off, so we're going to kind of wing our closing affirmation, and we'll start with Mary, and then we'll go to me, and then Cheryl, and then Star, and then Eli. So let's get it going with our closing affirmation.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all that I do.
I am it, I embrace it, and I share it.
Just the way that it is, and just the way that it is becoming. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. See you at the Zoom
Thank you,
meeting.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah. I didn't say that. I'm sorry. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers. Bye.